Hello?
Hey, we're ready to go.
All right, we'll have you right on.
Okay, thanks. We're on.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call this Town Council regular session meeting to order. Today is June 4th, 2025. It is 7 p.m. And at this time, I would, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilor White, if you could lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2 on the agenda is roll call. All councilors are present and accounted for. Thank you so much, councilors. Item number 4 is public forum. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak this evening? Are you sure? Okay.
Anything is possible.
Seeing none, we will close public forum at 7:02. The next item on our agenda, before we consider acceptance of minutes, is at this time I would accept a motion to seal our non-public minutes from our non-public session under RSA 91A3 2A concerning the dismissal, promotion, compensation of any public employee.
So you're accepting a motion to seal the minutes
Oh.
indefinitely because divulgence of the information likely would affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the board.
Well, okay, then I would accept a motion to permanently seal the minutes for that reason.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Ward. Do I have a second?
And I shall second that.
Thank you, Councilor Dornblit. Any discussion as to whether to seal those minutes? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Glazer?
Aye.
Councilor Martinez?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Councilor White?
Aye.
Councilor Blackstone?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. And moving right on, we do have 2 sets of minutes to accept this evening. The first is the set of minutes for May 21st, 2025, the non-public sealed minutes. At this time, I would accept a motion to approve those minutes.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Ward. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Councilor LaMattina. These are sealed, so there is no discussion. If you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Glazer?
Aye.
Councilor Martinez?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Councilor White?
Aye.
Councilor Blackstone?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0-1.
Thank you. And now we have the minutes of the regular town council meeting for May 21st, 2025, and I would accept a motion to approve those minutes.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Ward. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Councilor LaMattina. Any discussion or changes? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Glazer?
Aye.
Councilor Martinez?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Councilor White?
Abstain.
Councilor Blackstone?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0-1.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we are moving right along at this time. It is time for the report of the town manager, and so I will turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item, as the council is aware, the town finalized an agreement with the Department of Revenue Administration to correct a $1.6 million overstatement in the projected non-tax revenue, which led to an under-calculated 2024 tax rate. As a result, the town portion of the tax rate is adjusted to $2.19 per thousand of assessed value for the 2025 June issued tax bill. On the average home, this has an impact of $350. This correction ensures the town collects the appropriate revenue to meet its approved budget without issuing a one-time supplemental bill. I just want to thank the tax collector and the finance department who worked hard throughout the process to resolve it. First issue tax bills should be mailed either tomorrow or Friday, and it'll be due on July 10th. So just to get that they will be out there. Just that the Charter Commission held their organizational meeting and elected its officers. They are Tony Weinstein will be the chair, Phil Nazaro the vice chair, and Chris Hawkins the secretary. They are going to be holding their first public hearing on June 10th and accepting input on the current charter. This is a great opportunity for the public to comment on what it likes and does not like with the current form of town government. I will also be attending to give a presentation on forms of government in New Hampshire. I will provide updates to the council, although the commission is independent. the staff and I will offer them research and clerical assistance as needed. Next item is on Senate Bill 297, which was a matter of interest recently. The New Hampshire House Commerce Committee unanimously recommended Senate Bill 297 as ought to pass with the amendment. The amendment represents a strong compromise that addresses nearly all the concerns raised during the public hearings in both chambers. It formally distinguishes between accessible and non-accessible public risk pools. What's that mean? The accessible risk pools, that if you need some money, they can assess a fee against the customers. Non-accessibles does not. And what the health trust and school care are non-accessible pools, so our insurance company. And what they're going to do is recommend that they move that oversight to the insurance department versus the Secretary of State's office. Secretary of State has come out against the bill, not surprisingly, but I have contacted Senator Perkins Quokka to support the House Committee's amendment. A reminder that goal setting session will be Wednesday, June 25th at 6 p.m. downstairs. And just the other reminder is that our summer schedule that we'll only meet once a month in July and August, and those dates will be the 16th and August 20th. And that's all I have tonight.
Excellent, thank you very much. Questions or comments for the town manager? Councilor Blackstone.
How is the public being informed about this tax thing?
We have sent out press releases, we've sent out emails, blasts, we have it on the town website. Trying to get those as much as possible. We're not allowed to put mailings in with the tax bill,
Right, I knew that.
so we're just trying to get it out as best we can.
Excellent. Other questions for the town manager? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much.
Sonka has-
Oh, Sonka, so sorry.
It's not a question per se. I just wanted to say that I really like the new website as it's coming along. It feels much more responsive and easier to navigate, so I'm glad it's there.
I think that from the back end, it's a lot easier to put things up there as well.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments for the town manager? I'm sure I don't miss anybody this time. Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to item 7, committee reports. Are there any committee reports this evening? Councilor Gleisbrook.
There is going to be an art and garden tour June 21st. It's a Saturday. It's going to be self-guided tours of some local art studios and local gardens from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then a reception will be held from 3 to 5 p.m. And all day long on Main Street, there'll be local artists that'll be out there. There'll be stickers that will be available for people who attend, and those stickers will give you 10% off at most of the local businesses downtown. The last I checked, nobody had said no to being a part of that, but there will be an indication on the businesses if they are participating or not. And you can find out more information about that on the rec page on the website, the Recreation Department, and the Arts, Culture, Tourism Commission's page. And the other thing is the chess tables were delivered to the mural, and if you have a chance to go down and look, they look awesome. The color is great with it, and the little stones that had been there that were being kicked out into the road, those are gone. It's larger stone. It looks great. So go down and check it out if you have not.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilor Gleisbrook. Any other committee reports? Okay. Seeing none, we will then move right on into item 9 on our agenda, you guys. Resolutions and ordinances in the second reading, and this evening there is one. And so at this time, I would accept a motion to approve Resolution 2024-2025-41, the library feasibility study.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Ward. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Dornblit. Councilor, Town Manager.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a resolution to withdraw not more than $35,000 of the Library Capital Reserve Fund in order to allow the library to do their feasibility study for their facilities, which was not part of our facility study that we did a year and a half ago. It's pretty self-explanatory. There are some library trustees here if you have any questions.
Okay. Any discussion or questions? Counselor Dornbluth?
I just wanted to ask how the firm was selected.
You have to come up to the mic. And state your name.
Joan Diorio, Board of Trustees Treasurer. I didn't quite hear your question.
How was the architectural firm selected to do the work?
We looked through several architect firms. We had three that Lisa Z, our chair, was the one who had found the different architect firms, and we interviewed them to try to get a feel for, their style and the type of work that they did, and LaSalle seemed to be the best fit for us.
And have they done other public
Other
buildings or
libraries, yes, they
before?
did.
Yeah.
They put an addition on, I believe, in the Kittery Library.
Okay.
Was it
Grace
Kittery?
Library, Kittery, yes.
Yeah,
All right, I've seen that.
and they added quite a sizable part to it, and it blended very nicely.
I agree.
So,
Thank you.
yep.
Other questions? Counselor Lamatina?
Just a couple of comments.
Okay.
I got to spend some time during the parking study at the library, and I was just Saturday afternoon, rainy. I was surprised at the volume of people going through there on a Saturday afternoon. And also, too, this past weekend, they had a plant sale and a book sale, and if anybody went there, they definitely need to take a look at their space and how to better utilize their space. That's all I'll say to that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Yeah, I actually think the library is a fantastic space, and it's a lovely building, and if the trustees want to take a look, to do an architectural study, to get some feasibility information, to my mind that's what the capital reserve money is for, and I'm very, very excited to see the results, and hope that LaSalle is able to identify something and design something that delights the trustees and delights the town. Any other comments? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Counselor Glazefer?
Aye.
Counselor Lamatina?
Aye.
Counselor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Counselor White?
Aye.
Counselor Blackstone?
Aye.
Counselor Ward?
Aye.
Counselor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, and that is our only ordinance or resolution or ordinance in the second reading. So we are moving right on to item 10 on our agenda, which is resolutions and ordinances in the first reading. And this evening there are 3. The first resolution 2024-2025-42, that is a water rates rate increase. Whereas water and sewer rates shall be determined by the town council from time to time in amounts that will adequately cover the cost of operation, maintenance, and repair of existing infrastructure, and also for reasonable extensions and replacements to existing mains and toward acquisition of future water supply plant and equipment. And whereas the town of Newmarket has undertaken water projects that will improve capacity, water quality, and distribution, and whereas it is necessary to increase the water rate and fees to meet the costs associated with the water project and inflation, now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Newmarket Town Council does hereby approve and increase the water rate from $7.25 to $7.75 per for each 750 gallons consumed for the August 2025 billing. Sponsored by Chair Conley by request, first reading June 4th, 2025. The second resolution in the first reading is Resolution 2024-2025-43, and that is a police cruiser purchase. This is the purchase of a Chevrolet Tahoe SUV for the police department to include costs associated with the purchase of emergency lighting and equipment setup. Whereas the police department seeks to replace the current Frontline Detail 2018 Ford Interceptor SUV with 112,568 miles and replace it with a new 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe SUV at the state bid price of,
It should be.
I don't know. The state bid price of this. Is this $57,897?
$897. Yeah,
Okay, this should be a comma.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas the department's request includes the costs associated with the transferal and/or replacement of the police radios, emergency lighting, and equipment necessary for police services, as well as the costs associated with lettering the vehicle. And whereas the police vehicle account, $66,326, and the police department public safety vehicle detail account, $22,699.55, shall cover all costs associated with the purchase and outfitting of the vehicle, not to exceed $89,025.55. Now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Newmarket Town Council does hereby approve the withdrawal of funds from the 2025 police vehicle budget line, $66,326, and police department public safety vehicle detail account, $22,699.55, for the purpose of purchasing and equipping a new 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe police SUV for the town, and authorize the town manager to execute any associated agreements. Sponsored by Chair Conley by request. First reading, June 4th, 2025. And finally,
I would suggest you read it by
Read by-
title only.
And finally, ordinance number 1, 2024-2025, to be read by title only. An ordinance to amend Chapter 32 to establish a new zoning district called the Village Corridor District, create form-based code standards for the new district, remove redundant standards, add clarifying language, and update the zoning map.
Madam Chair, there will be a public hearing prior to the next meeting on this ordinance.
Thank you very much. And sponsored by Chair Conley by request, first reading June 4th, 2025. All right, that is it for ordinances and resolutions in the first reading. We'll move right on to item number 11, new business and correspondence. Is there any correspondence to the town council to be read into the record this evening?
There's none.
Okay. Seeing none, then we will move on to closing comments by town councilors. Are there any closing comments anyone wishes to make this evening? Councilor Dornbluth.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a question in regards to the last proposed ordinance. Town Manager, you mentioned there's going to be a public hearing. Is the public hearing going to coincide with our next meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Will we allot more time, considering that our process usually is to read the ordinance, discuss, and then vote, considering the size of the ordinance and the impact that this will have, will we have
That is the wish of the council.
adjust the time to allow for public comment and for discussion?
In what way would you like to adjust the time?
I would just like to be prepared to have more time than we allot usually, which is from 7 to 9, considering the sorry.
Yes.
There's two things. One, public hearings for zoning ordinances, you have to let everyone speak. There's not a limitation there. As for the time limit, the council has to suspend their rules that evening to go past 9 p.m.
And that can be, yeah.
That can be done if need be.
Okay, so we're not going to plan for it, we're just going to
Mhm.
do it
Play
ad
by
hoc?
ear.
Okay. Does that include the possibility of postponing any decision to another meeting?
That's
if
the wish of the
need
council.
be? Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that we are giving this the due that it deserves, considering the amount of work that went into it.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Dornbluth. Other comments? Councilor Lamatino.
Monday, June 9th, this upcoming Monday, 7 o'clock downstairs, there'll be a town hall / listening session with our state representatives. Everybody's welcome and encouraged to attend.
Could you repeat that, please?
Monday, June 9th, 7 PM downstairs, a town hall / listening session with our state representatives. You can bring up any questions, comments that you might have.
Thank you.
Excellent. Other closing comments? Councilor Blackstone.
Yeah, I just wanted to state that I attended the Rec Connect meeting, and it was very well attended, and I thought it went very well.
I did too.
Wendy's agreeing with me, I can see.
I did too. Kudos to Amy and her team. Okay. The only thing I have is that on the ordinance to establish the new zoning district, the Village Corridor District, just cannot recommend enough that people take a look at that. It does make some changes that we think are are great and will help with some of the development needs that I think the planning board and folks have identified. Really would like to get have a public hearing and get public input on it. So definitely encourage folks to read that and show up. Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Seeing none, our next meeting is June 18th, 2025. I will request a non-public session prior to the meeting at 6, same as we did today, to finalize a evaluation. And if you could send that out, that would be fantastic. And if there are no objections, then I will consider us adjourned. Thank you very much, councilors.
Thank you.